Hello, welcome to another tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and the painting I'm bringing you today is called Golden Bay, 7 by 14. I completed this yesterday, started it the day before. And you can access this video in the members area in real time with actually quite a lot of tips and tricks on color mixing in this one. So if that's your thing, you're wanting to learn about, this would be a good one to check out. And keep in mind with the members area, you can tip in, tip out. It's all good. Anyway, enough of that. Also, this will be for sale on my store. Go ahead, buy it. Yeah, that'd be great. My price is very fair indeed. And yeah, I think this one came out really good. So what's up with this painting? Well, right now I'm painting on a nice bit of hardboard, and it's been prepped with some several coats of transparent gesso, so that's why it doesn't look like anything's changed on it. A lot of times I like to oil these boards out first, but I was using kind of my own, on some of these 7x14s, using my own formulation of this transparent gesso, and it seemed to get kind of weird when I oiled the board out, so I didn't do that here. But usually I like to do that because I can see very accurately what the color of the board is. But it's not a big deal, You can go either way. And what I'm doing now is basically the underpainting stage. So a big part of my process is to go in and do an underpainting. I could do it in black. This is burn umber. Usually it's one or the other. Sometimes I do a custom umber if I don't want too much of a reddish thing going, where I'll mix like some brown ochre with a little bit of black, maybe, that kind of thing. The burn umber works really well for this job because it dries very quickly. This was dry to the touch the next day. And I do use a quick drying oil. The oil that I use is from Archival Oils brand, and it's odorless lean. I tried the classic. I didn't see any real difference. So anyway, having a quick dry oil is helpful. It doesn't solve all your problems with if oil paint has any problem, it's not dry maybe as quickly as some people might like. But if you use the alkoyd medium, and some people use alkoyd paints in addition, it can get pretty dry pretty quick. And somebody had mentioned on the channel, sorry, your name's so many names, so little time, but it will come to me. It's right on the cusp. Anyway, I had mentioned how awesome oil paint is, and it really is the absolute greatest medium for creating artwork ever. You can do just about anything. You can paint chunky and rough. You can paint smooth and glossy. You can paint thick. You can paint thin. You can get just about any effect you'd ever want to get with oil paint. So oil paint's the king. And really, it's the only medium I have any interest in. My student Ash recently had done taken a little, did a little quick class on doing etchings, which are fascinating, especially historically. Let's face it, that was one of the great innovations, was the ability to take one of your drawings and etch it into a plate of copper or some other metal, and then make or wood blocks, same sort of idea, and make many reproductions of it. It's brilliant. It was the only option you had. But these days we have our phones. We could just take a picture of our drawing and clean it up, print it out. So I don't have much interest in that. And what she said I thought was very illuminating. She's like, I could have done a painting, in full color. Yeah. But get back to what I was saying about oil paint, that's why but you cannot. You can do a lot with computers. That was one thing I was kind of thinking of talking about a little bit today. I made my living as a commercial illustrator for 13 years in the computer realm. A lot of times drawing on paper, inking on paper, scanning that in and coloring. And I could get lots of different effects, lots of watercolor effects, pastel effects, you name it, in the computer using my tablet with a stylus. But what really doesn't come off too well was the oil painting effects, especially for landscape. I'd say, like, I did some elephants and things, I remember, that ended up coming off pretty good. But in general, you really can't get this sort of look that easily with a computer. You know, it still isn't. And here we are almost 30 years in, so still isn't looking right. You can do some cool stuff, though, don't get me wrong. But the other great thing about oil paint, an actual board, physically painting, is that you're not just creating an image, you are creating an object. You are creating an art object that will endure and is one of a kind. You can, and I do, take good photos of my paintings, and I do make little. I don't get into prints too much for investment purposes. I make. In fact, I'm going to be at the artisans market later today, and I'll have a box of prints which I sell quite reasonably, and it's just there for people that want something but don't have a lot of dosh, which is a lot of us, and it's great. You can have something up on the wall, something interesting, something beautiful that moves you. That's absolutely great. But the painting itself, and I want to impart this to you. If you're a painter, yeah, we already know it's like that's one of a kind. And let's just say you keep at it, right? You keep at it, your work gets better and better and better and better. Which it will if you keep at it. I don't care who you are or what sort of restrictions you're dealing with. The fact of the matter is that if you keep at it, you'll get better. No question. Anyway, that's a separate issue, and one you've heard me say repeatedly. But when you invest time and effort into creating an object that is one of a kind, it is one of a kind. And if it's beautiful, it will find a place in this world eventually. It's even in these times where not much of value seems to be valued, and things that are worthless, seem to be more highly regarded. A lot of that, I think, is just, all of this technology, all of this digital stuff, all the streaming services, the social media, all of it's really new to us as human beings. I don't think we've actually learned how to come to terms with it yet. We're very adaptable. That's true. Humans are the most adaptable creatures on the planet. Nobody else, no other animal or being here comes even close to how we can adapt. But just because we can adapt doesn't mean that we're living in ways that are natural or wholesome for us, but time will be the great reconciler of all that. And we all have, of course, limited time here. That's the one thing that's omnipresent in our existence. And painting ties directly into that too. Like, this is I could create, and I did create as a professional, all sorts of images that I put hours and hours and hours into, and that were reproduced for sale. And even would sell quite a few. I had designs that were in multiple hundreds of thousands, of sales garnered, from my imagery. Mostly t-shirts, right? But if it really did well, they put it on everything. Mugs, keychains, you name it. Anyway, separate issue. The fact of the matter is, though, that image that I spent all that time, it's just a copyable file on a computer. And I better hope that I copied it, because I've lost all that work before. We have a little glitch on your hard drive, or a little glitch in the program, or you just forgot to save. You can lose hours and hours and hours of work. Funny enough, I just had the painting I did before this was really nice. Another beach kind of thing. Um, I forgot to record the sky, so. But the painting's still there, getting back to my point, which I like to do once in a while. The point is that if you put your efforts into creating something in the real world, it's unique, it's one of a kind. Now maybe you can sell it, maybe you're in a place, like one of my issues is that I live in a place here in New Zealand where, yeah, this could sell out here, but it doesn't resonate 100% with the mentality of the natives here. I do have some sales locally, and people into my work, but if I was in Europe or the east coast of the US, I'd be doing better locally. I know I would. Because how do I know? Because I'm working in that tradition, and what's sort of popular out here is more contemporary things. They like their paintings with big words on them and things like that. Anyway, I digressed. I would talk a little bit about the colors I used in this. If you made it this far, you probably, want some info, but it's a fairly limited palette. The exception would be like the blue in the sky, but mostly what I did was I had manipulated my reference so that the foliage, which would have been normally like these kind of dull grays and greens, not bad and beautiful if you're there. Oops, sorry. I threw everything into a purple red range, and that was based on the sky that I came up with. So a lot of times I'll pivot off of that. I took my reference photo myself, and I recommend that's a good practice for you too. If you make too many photos based on nature scenes from the internet, let's say you get real popular one day, let's say you have those big successes you're dreaming of, that could totally bite you on the rear end, and you don't need that. So I start with a framework of my own photo, and I've collected skies over the years, and the fact is there, as far as using some sort of random sky photo as a reference, it's like I'm taking a lot of liberties there anyway. Many times I'll use the same sky reference over and over and over, and it looks different in every painting. That's just how it goes. That's how I interpret skies. Anyway, I plan in the sky, and then I go, ooh, where do I want to take the rest of the scene color-wise? And here, I've had some successes with the purple, orange, yellow thing before. It's sort of a complementary palette. One thing I'd contemplated doing on this painting was getting a little deeper into putting some more green tones in, but I ended up kind of bailing on that and just happy with the used a lot of burnt sienna, cad red, burnt umber, diox purple, cad yellow, yellow ochre, a lot of cad orange, big factor. A lot of cad orange added to the purple to make a nice brown that was fairly opaque. Yeah, because a lot of the other browns in my palette are fairly transparent. Anyway, I can see we're getting close to the end of the video. I'm going to be headed off to the market today, so hopefully we'll have some success there. We'll get some punchers interested in some paintings. If you've got some value off of this and you feel like you're in a position to help me, there's a lot of ways you could do it. You could join the members area. You could buy a painting if you have the sort of resources. I'll ship it to you. And shipping, international shipping, is included in the price. Also, there's like a thank you button there. If you click on that, you can give me a tip. And on my website, someone took advantage of this the other week, and thank you so much. I wasn't able to send you an email for some reason to thank you, but I got a really lovely donation from someone, and that truly touches my heart. I really appreciate that, because we're all having a tough time right now, so anything that comes in is really helpful, and I really appreciate it. And if all you can do is watch videos to the end like this, I really appreciate you too. Thanks for that. You're awesome. And until I come back with another video for your edification and enjoyment, do me a favor, do me a solid. Take good care of yourself, your family, all your loved ones. Stay out of trouble. And God bless you.